Hey everyone, I want to give you guys a review of this Vevor forge. Okay, so this is a blacksmithing forge. It works on propane. Okay, and I just finished this project over here. I've been working on it for about 4 days. There were a lot of screw ups. I mean, there was a big learning curve. Okay, so this is like one of the prototype axe heads that I made, and I finally managed to make make a pole axe that I'm really happy with. I'll do a separate video on the pole axe with the end cap over there. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this double burner Vevor. So it was $130 on what was it, on Home Depot, right? I did also look on Amazon. I ended up buying it from Home Depot because Home Depot has a 90-day return policy as opposed to Amazon, which is 30 days. And I really didn't know how this was going to go, so I said, you know what? Let's go with the 90-day return policy. The price was about the same. Delivery time was about the same. It was like for 3 or 4 days. Okay, this is not something that they keep on hand. So overall, I'm pretty happy. It worked out good. Now, when you get it, they do not ship it with the refractory cement that you have to put on the inside. Okay, so they used to ship it, but I think they used to charge like almost $200. You're gonna want the 10-pound Satinite, and it's gonna cost something like $40 on Amazon. Get the 10 pounds. I mean, you're gonna want to do a double application. And basically I just use it with my hand. I just basically I mixed it with water to the point where it was like thick like cement, where you could like pick it up and it would be in your hand. Basically I just put my hand in there, one side then the other side. I rotated this thing. Basically these things were not in position when I was doing it. That's the easiest way to apply it. Make sure you get all the way out to the outside here. So I've gone through, I think, 4 of those propane tanks in the 4 days. So you are going to get cracks from the refractory, which is normal, which is not a big deal. When this refractory starts cracking bad, you just reapply it. You don't even bother taking out the old stuff. Just as if it starts cracking and you start getting pieces coming off and you start seeing the insulation, just throw another layer of refractory, which is why it's worth getting the 10 pounds for the $40, because if you're forging with this, you're going to be using it. Okay, so get that. Just use your hand, put it in there. All sides. Okay, this does come with actually 1.5 of these fire bricks. You put the fire bricks on the inside so that it doesn't because otherwise it'll burn through your refractory a lot faster. So you put these bricks in there. See, is this hot enough? Cool down. Let me get one that's fairly cool. Okay, so yeah, you're just gonna slide this in here like this. All right, this way when it blasts down, it blasts. You can see the burn marks on the bricks, and as you can see, these are consumable. There's cracks in it. You're gonna if you knock them over, they're gonna break, which is fine. These things are like $4 each at Tractor Supply. So get like, it comes with 2 of them. Get 6. You're gonna be getting more if you're forging, because like I said, these things are consumable. So I use them. The more I put them underneath the thing, right, just so that the barrel doesn't get really hot. Okay, I put the 2 bricks inside so that the blast doesn't go into the cement, it goes into the brick. And then what I also did is I would also close up the back like that, so it would keep more of the heat in, and I could get up to forge temperatures. What you do is this thing's slightly out of position because I'm letting it cool down now. But what you want to do is when you want to put them side by side with about 2 inches in between. This way air can get in. And as far as your the vent hole, the air intakes up here, basically I set it for about halfway, and that seems to be working pretty good. Now, one of the things that I was also doing is like I would do it like this, so I could only use one. And what that would do is that would save on the gas. But if you're gonna do that, because now you got one burner, but you still got the same amount of airspace in there. So what you do is you just take another one of these refractory bricks and you just shove it in there, right? Or use the small pieces. You put it in there so you have less air space in there. There's less space, and there's less. Basically the fire is being diverted to the steel that you're working on. Okay, so that's a tip that I found, because most of the time, unless I was actually forge welding, I would only work with one, and I would just keep it like in this position like this, keep one valve closed, and I would keep the back not just bricked up, but also I would slide a brick in there to close the space off. So everything from here back was bricked off, and I was just working with this area right here. Okay, so that's how I did most of my. If I was just going to do some shaping, that's how it was working. If I wanted to forge weld, yeah, then I'd open up both of them. Now, when you are, like, let's say you're working, right? First of all, you don't want to leave it in there, right? Because let's say you're forge welding, you got both of them in there, and you close this, the heat's still going to rise up through here, and it'll end up burning your valve, or the different, because there's there's little components in there that are not meant to take rising heat, because normally the heat doesn't rise up because it's being pushed down by the gas. So that's why when I turn this off to forge weld, I'll just pick this up and I'll position it like this, okay? And then when I'm done, right? So let's say I'm done forge welding, I'll shut it off. I'll shut it off over here at this point here, and then what I'll do is I'll just pull this out. Okay, again, so that I don't beat up on these valves. These valves aren't subjected to that high heat. Okay, so yeah, this thing worked out pretty good for the $130. But like I said, you gotta buy the refractory cement, so you gotta factor that in. That's $40. So it's like 100. Realistically, it's $190 to get started. Okay, you're gonna need blacksmithing tools. And believe me, I did try using like a large vice grip and pliers and stuff like that. It doesn't work. You actually need these things. If you go to Amazon, they actually have I think the 3 of these, I forgot how much they were. It was like $50, I think, for the 3 of these. This one over here, I didn't really get to use a lot, but I did use this one a lot to hold the steel. And I did, this one I used a lot to manipulate the bricks, like to open and close it. This is a really good. So I'm actually going to put a screenshot of the Sanonite refractory that I bought with this. This way you know exactly what you're buying if you do this. And also a screenshot of this three set here. That came in, that worked out really good for me. And also the borax. Okay, borax. If you're gonna forge weld, what you do is you throw in a little of this borax, and what it does is, in order to really forge weld, you got to remove the oxygen, because the oxygen attaches to the metal and it basically corrodes it, and it interferes with your forge welding. So you you sprinkle a little borax on the piece that you're about to forge weld. So again, I also got that from Amazon. So I'm going to do a screenshot, give you guys a screenshot of those 3 accessories that I think you're going to want. The fire bricks, you just get them at Tractor Supply, and based on the cracks and stuff, they're like $4 a brick. Based on the cracks and stuff that I'm seeing on this, I mean, this is something that's very consumable. I mean, you're gonna be going through these fire bricks if you're doing it. So like I did this now for like 4 days in a row, and you can see the condition of my fire bricks. So I gotta get more fire bricks. But I think I'm done with this for a while, because I just finished this, and like I said, 4 straight days in a row of hammering. That's my Anvil set here. So what it is, I got one bucket. I placed one bucket on the ground, right? That's to give me height. And then I put my main bucket on top of the other bucket. Now, the reason why I had to put it on that bucket, because otherwise if I'm hammering, the hydraulic, basically this thing's going to be moving. So it actually has to be on something steady. So I put one bucket on top of the other bucket, and then I got like these 75-pound steel plates here, plus the railroad tracks that I was using to shape stuff. Okay, so there's basically like almost 500 pounds in steel here that I was essentially using as an anvil. So this is a really, if you got a tractor, you got something like this. This is a really good way to get started really quickly. Okay, so this Vevor double burner forge, yeah, I like it. The single burner ones, I believe they do use up less fuel. But the good thing about this is if you know how to close it off, like I did, like not just close up the back, but also reduce the space inside by putting bricks on the inside. So now you have the option, because at one point that like this piece over here, you can see how it's long. So I actually didn't need the full length of this. So, and I think they were the same price. So it just makes sense to get the larger one. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop some comments. It helps push the algorithm, and I will talk to you all soon. What I did is I got these two pieces to match up evenly by playing around with hammering on one side and the other side to get the length exactly equal. Pick these things up